March is 1 month away, and big games are looming across college basketball, especially here in the ACC. The Stanford Cardinal on a 4-game losing streak, trying to make that NCAA tournament push, taking on the Pitt Panthers here tonight. And we welcome you inside the Peterson Event Center alongside the former Big Ten guard, Brianna Orr-Kelly. I'm Jason Earl and Brianne Stanford. We mentioned the little skid here in ACC play, but they've been without their leading scorer, Nunu Aguera, and their starting point guard, Talana Lapola.
Yeah, you talk about missing players, and that's tough for any team. But when you're missing two key veteran players that you just mentioned, Jason, it really changes the dynamic of your entire team. But good thing for Stanford, they don't lack much talent with the talented veterans that they have in a stellar freshman class.
And it's Courtney Ogden, the junior for Stanford, that has really stepped up amidst the injuries as of late.
Yeah, she's been huge, and it really says something when your coach is saying that you're having a fantastic season thus far. She's coming off one of her best performances against Notre Dame with a nice double-double, 23 points and 10 rebounds. She can score in a variety of ways. You see her here, a stretch post. She might be a tough matchup for Pitt tonight when she can step back and hit those threes as well.
And for those Pitt Panthers, Michaela Johnson playing some of her best basketball in recent games.
Yeah, she really has. She's been tremendous all ACC, over 13 points a game, 10 points. She's been the last 7 out of her 10 games. She's going to need to be huge tonight for Pitt to get the win against Stanford.
Johnson in her second season at Pitt after transferring in from Colorado. As we take a look at our starting lineup, Stanford starting 3 freshmen. That's what they did last Thursday as well, and that game marked the first time since 1992 the Stanford program has started 3 freshmen. And for the Panthers, they are going to go with the same starting 5 as they did on Sunday in their game at Virginia Tech. As we get set to go, the Panthers in the home whites and the Cardinal in red on the road. Underway at the Pitt, Cardinal win the tap. And Stanford's quest to end that 4-game losing streak begins. The Cardinal currently projected as an NCAA tournament team, but certainly need a win here tonight on the road at Pitt. It was Ogden that took the jumper to start things off for Stanford, and now Pitt will set up their half court. Michaela Johnson. Talked about her in the open. She gets the first points for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's interesting to see on that on-ball screen right there. Courtney Ogden has the matchup against Michaela Johnson, but she decides to go under that ball screen. Michaela Johnson notices it and knocks it down.
Eschmeyer gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in.
Yeah, and that's too easy, and that's going to be a challenging part of the defense for the Pitt Panthers if they're in that zone, is finding a body, boxing out, and finishing the play with a rebound.
Here's Teresa Higgins, junior freshman point guard for the Panthers. Working with Quealy in the backcourt, then drives too strong on the shot attempt on the inside. Here's Haley Swain, one of the 3 freshmen in that Stanford starting 5, and now Eschmeyer all the way across court. Shumfai, freshman to freshman, too strong on the 3-point shot.
Yeah, quite a few bigs on Stanford can step back and knock down threes for them. Pitt is going to need to stretch their defense a bit here tonight.
And Johnson and Shumfai battling for it. Torrey Verdi in his 3rd season as the head coach of these Pitt Panthers, and started our conversation with him yesterday by asking for his parenting advice. Why? Because our producer Sarah Johnson is in her first game back in the producer chair after her maternity leave. Congratulations to her and her newborn son, just about 4 months old. And we jokingly asked him for his parenting advice, but he actually delivered. He said, teamwork is very important. You have a significant other, it's important to utilize that person, and a lot like basketball in some ways.
Oh, yeah. Of course, he had to teamwork, throw in something about the team, a head coach, of course. But it was good advice, you're right.
Torrey Verdi looking for his team to put forth their best effort every game. Obviously, the wins and losses have not been where they hoped they would be, but still a team that shows up excited to play in tonight's game. Said they had a good practice yesterday, and looking forward to this game tonight against Stanford. Once again, a team projected to make the NCAA tournament as things stand right now. Fatima Jahate, a nice move on the inside to make it 6-4 early.
Yeah, that was a nice post move for Jahate to finish against Eschmeyer.
But a quick answer by the Cardinal, and just over 3 minutes in, Stanford already with 8 points.
Yeah, and Stanford's bigs carrying the load early on. Shumfai with a bucket, Eschmeyer with 2 buckets to go with that as well.
Swain with some space just past the elbow, won't go. Hollingsworth is there for Pitt. Teresa Higgins Jr., one of the top freshman guards in the conference. 3.7 assists per game for Higgins on the year. Leads ACC freshman in that category. And here she is. Hoists a 3 from the top of the arc, and it's good.
Yeah, and she's really been improving this season. She came out the beginning of the season, didn't start the first few games, earned her spot in that starting lineup, and really has been improving, growing through the years, growing through her first freshman year here at Pitt.
Johnson gets the and one.
And that's a great take for Johnson in transition, and credit Teresa Higgins for finding her guard, leaking up the left side of the floor for the opportunity for the 3-point play, as you see the repeat of Teresa Higgins knocking down that bucket there behind the arc, and then just great body control by Michaela Johnson attacking the 6'5" big inside.
Johnson completes the 3-point play, gives the Panthers the lead right back. Coach Verdi saying his team's effort was tremendous at Virginia Tech last week, executed their game plan, and Virginia Tech, another team projected to make the NCAA tournament. Panthers were within 5 with just about 4 minutes to play in that game, and they were on the verge of a big ACC road win before the Hokies ended on a 12-0 run to get the win. But a lot of things that Coach Verdi liked about Pitt in that game, and rolls out the same starting 5 here tonight. 7 to shoot here for the Panthers. Hollingsworth backing down Shumfai, and the foul called. It will go against Stanford and Mary Ashley Stevenson.
And you will absolutely take that if you're on the Pitt bench. The shot clock winding down, 2 seconds left. Hollingsworth makes a nice spin move, just tries to throw something up, and she gets fouled. How can she knock these 2 free throws down?
Able to make the first, and Hollingsworth, freshman from Canada, starting to see a little bit more action as of late, and knocks down a pair.
Yeah, she's been a solid role player for the Pitt Panthers this season, really making her mark when she gets those minutes that she earns on the floor. But she's been producing really well lately as she's been inserted in the starting lineup.
Stevenson looking for an option, finds one outside in Swain. Cardinal moving it around, Swain working on Higgins. Now finds Ogden. Ogden's penetration and rattles out, rebound Hollingsworth.
And that's a nice look for Courtney Ogden. The play before, she knocked down a jumper at that free throw line area. Just can't get that last one to fall. Neither can Michaela Johnson on the other end. Johnson
maybe with a heat check there already. 5 points for her today. She was looking for the 3-point attempt, and now Ogden working with Shumfai. Here goes the freshman battling the Pitt freshman, and Shumfai wins the battle. 4 points for her tonight.
Yeah, that was a great face-up attack from the free throw line for the big and Laura Shumfai.
Shumfai has had a really good season, has struggled during the losing streak though, just 5 points in total over the last couple games. She has it here, goes into Jahate, contact no call, and now there is a whistle. It will go against Jada Quealy, and the Panthers Just about 6 minutes in, we have a tie game here in the ACC at the Peterson Event Center. We'll be right back. Head coach in 2016. She reached 9 Final Fours during her time on staff. And so Stanford ran in a much better spot this year than they were last year. And Kate Pay telling us as much, saying they were light years ahead of where they were a year ago at this time. On that 4-game losing streak right now, but this is a team that was 15-4, 4-2 in the ACC. And because they started out so well this season, they're still projected to make the NCAA tournament despite the recent losing.
Yeah, really, you're absolutely right there. And they really don't have many bad losses. 2-5 against top any net teams. I mean, they're setting themselves up for success. But a victory here in Pittsburgh for them is something that is a must-win for them.
You talked about it. Not many bad losses on that Stanford resume to this point, but certainly cannot afford to drop this one on the road at Pitt tonight. That would take a toll on the resume for the Cardinal as they look to make that late push for an NCAA tournament bid. And good possession out of the timeout for Stanford. You hit the 3, get that lead right back.
A couple new faces for Pitt that entered the floor.
Nice drive by Higgins. She gets her second basket of the ball game.
And Pitt right back into that zone, Jason.
This 3-point attempt, Villegas tracks it down for the Panthers. Higgins pushing the tempo, tried to find Rust, had it poked away by Swain. Now Swain in transition will pull it back out. She would have been going into the much taller 6'5" Jahate. That time she does try it, unsuccessful, and Jahate hauls in the board.
Yeah, and that was a really great read by Swain there. She pulled it out, as you mentioned, Jason, but then she did see the mismatch against Jahate and took her to the basket, as you should, but she just can't finish.
Now it's Jahate backing down Stevenson, but well defended by the Cardinal, and they work the other way here. Chloe Clardy kicks out to Ogden. Ogden with 5 points so far, and Shumfai calling for some help from Stevenson. Now a kick out to Swain. Swain's 3, too strong. Offensive rebound, Shumfai back to Swain. And the Cardinal get the second chance points.
Freshman to freshman there. Shumfai collects Swain's air ball as the rebound, but then she sees her cut to the basket and hits her point guard for the assist.
Stanford, one of the better rebounding teams in the conference this season. They have 9 rebounds here tonight, 3 of those offensive rebounds. Higgins' 3 is off the heel, and Swain tracks it down. Pressure there from Higgins. Those freshmen for Stanford asked to do a lot, but Kate Pay proud of what they've done. There's one of them, Shumfai, off the window and in. Kate Pay said those 3 freshman starters are in the gym all the time, and it shows.
Yeah, it absolutely shows, but that was a nice dime by Courtney Ogden to find, as you just mentioned, their freshman who's always in the gym, Laura Shumfai.
Shumfai now with 6 points. That's more than she had the last 2 games combined for Stanford in some tough games against Notre Dame and Louisville, the last 2 for the Cardinal, and now an answer from Pitt.
Yeah, that was a nice bucket by Lauren Rush. She saw the Cardinal defender coming by, just stops on a dime for a minute, gets her up in the air, and then finishes with the bucket.
Rust with those impressive rebounding numbers this year, up at 7.5 per game. Good to see her being a big contributor this year for the Panthers after a season-ending leg injury just 3 games in a season ago for Lauren Rust. Higgins goes all the way cross court. Johnson goes baseline, and thought she might have been fouled, but does go out of bounds. Last off Stanford.
Yeah, she definitely wanted a foul call there, but that was a tough take. Basically 1 versus 3. Yeah, but it's 6'4" Shumfai in there, 2 other 6-footers. Tough take for her, and fortunately for them, they get the ball back under the baseline out of bounds.
4 to shoot for Villegas, tightly guarded by Clardy. Panthers got to get it up, and they do not. Great defense by Stanford, and because of it, they will have the last possession here in the first quarter if they can hold for the last shot.
Yeah, and that's a great defensive stop for Stanford. You talk about you work hard the entire possession through the entire shot clock, and then you force a tough shot like that. You can't ask for anything better.
Clardy brings it up for the Cardinal. Panthers sitting back in that zone. Villegas at the top of it. Ejiwoye. And Stanford can't get a shot up. Clock ticking down. Ogden didn't realize it. But Stanford does have the 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Laura Chamfai off to a good start with 6 points on 3 made field goals and helping out her teammates as well. 6.6 rebounds for Chamfai and Stanford, 19-16 leaders after the first. Today, she said this Stanford team is climbing a mountain this year, and the best, these are a few of them, the freshmen Hannah Swain, Laura Chamfai, and Alex Eschmeyer. K-Pay said they're playing against very experienced players night in, night out. So every game, they're learning lessons, they are improving. And Stanford, as you see at the bottom of the graphic, not a team that's used to starting 3 freshmen, but these ones have really stepped up when they needed them.
Oh yeah, they sure have. They're combined for 36% of Stanford's scoring. That really says a lot when they're coming from your freshmen.
Stepping up tonight, Chamfai with 6 for the Cardinal. Eschmeyer and Swain with 6 combined. So 12 of the 19 so far in this game for Stanford have come from those 3 freshmen in the starting 5. Ogden driving kick to Chamfai. Got the corner triple.
Chamfai again off to a hot start early tonight in Pittsburgh.
Laura Chamfai, the freshman from Hungary at 6'3", and Villegas able to answer for the Panthers with a 3 of her own.
Yeah, big needed answer for the Panthers is Carla Villegas, 3-point specialist off the bench.
Chamfai left open in the same spot, that time too strong. Tries to track down her own rebound, instead Villegas gets it.
And that was a tough decision for Lauren Russ there to make. You have Laura Chamfai in the corner who just knocked down a 3-point shot, and the guard at the top wasn't over there quick enough. And that's what sometimes you're giving up when you're in a zone, is shots beyond the arc.
7 on the timer for Quealy and the Panthers. Kick out to Russ, too strong. Stevenson tried to reach up and get it, but knocked it out of bounds in the process, so it'll stay on this end. Substitutions on both sides. Michaela Johnson back in for Pitt after a couple minutes there from Angela Lefow for Pitt.
Like Michaela Johnson coming from the bench eating a snack or something. Get a little quick bite of energy.
Right, got to stay energized. Especially in this league, going up against some of the best you'll see in college basketball. Here's Clardy, pull up 3, connects.
Yeah, and that was a great read by Chloe Clardy. Jada Quealy goes under the screen. Just a little quick jump stop, knock it down for 3. Good read by Clardy.
Now this is where Torrey Verdi will want to see that fight from his team. Mentioned how in the game against Virginia Tech, they did not get rattled when they got down, and have been moments throughout this season where they've struggled to fight back, but it was not the case last Thursday in the game in Blacksburg. They were able to chip away at that margin and keep things close there into the fourth quarter. Lead is now 6 for Stanford. That is the largest Cardinal lead of this game.
Pitt doing a really nice job on the defensive end, especially out of that zone, really keeping Stanford off of the offensive glass. They just have 3 O boards. That's really been successful for the Panthers.
Johnson fouled on the shot attempt, so she will head to the line. Michaela Johnson, 73% from the free throw line on the season. Johnson now 2 for 2 here today.
Yeah, she's really improved her free throws throughout the season. Earlier in the year, about halfway through the season, she was only shooting a little bit above 60% from the free throw line. Now, as you mentioned, Jason, at that 73% mark.
Ogden pass inside, good cut by Eschmeyer, and can't get the roll. Rebound, Jahate. Good defense on the inside by the Panther big. Jahate is 5th in the ACC in blocks per game and rebounds per game. Has been a force on the inside, the 6'5" junior from Senegal.
Yeah, she really is. She's been a force, that's for sure, for the Panthers all season, and she's going to have her hands full against the bigs on Stanford tonight.
Johnson, baseline jumper is good.
She's just playing with such poise and confidence right now. You can see it all over her. She's been a leader for this Panther squad throughout ACC play, and she's really showing that here to start this basketball game tonight.
Ogden, corner three for Swain. Won't go. Shumfai, the offensive rebound. Clardy, the three, yes. Brianne, you just talked about how the Panthers have been doing a relatively good job of keeping Stanford off the offensive glass. But when Stanford is able to get that rebound, they make them pay.
Yeah, that's a killer. I was just going to say that, Jason. I think I jinxed them for the Panthers, but maybe not for Stanford.
Look at that, our first game together this season. We're still on the same page. Good offense on both sides right now, making it 28-25. And Brianne, it seems like the Pitt zone has worked well when they're able to get out to the corners and make sure they can test those Stanford three-point attempts.
Yeah, that's for sure, but
and keep them off the glass.
We just talked about this, keeping them off the glass, and the 2 back-to-back possessions, they give away offensive rebounds. And not only just offensive rebounds, but scores off of those 2 offensive boards.
And you see the second chance points, 9-0 right now in favor of Stanford. Panthers with just 2 offensive rebounds. 8 to shoot for Johnson, working on Ogden. Too much on the jumper. Michaela Johnson, 3 for 9 from the floor so far in this one. Clardy goes baseline, tried to find her teammate Eschmeyer on the inside. And now Hagen's in transition. Hesitation, and has it swatted by Eschmeyer.
What a play by Eschmeyer. And if Hagens was going to finish that, that was going to be an ESPN top 10 type of play. She is so fun to watch when she gets out in transition.
Instead, Swain responds with the 3 for Stanford, and that'll be the 5th Stanford-made 3 of the ball game.
Yeah, that was a big response by the freshman Haley Swain to knock down that 3-pointer.
Right now, 20 of the 33 Stanford points coming from freshmen, but once again, Jahate able to keep the Panthers fighting right back in this. It's a 6-point game.
Yeah, Fatih Jahate showing her range here, Jason, early on in this ball game.
Drive from Swain again converts. Haley Swain getting hot here in the second quarter.
Yeah, what a touch by her. I like to call that a point guard layup. You get in there, you know there's a 6'5" big inside. You got a little floater. That's a point guard layup to me.
Cardinal have made their last 3 from the field. And Swain has nearly matched her season average already. Here's Villegas, 8 to shoot, gets one up. Too short, and that is already the 11th rebound for Lara Shumfai. We're in the second quarter of this basketball game.
You'd be talking a double-double early for her. 9 points and 11 rebounds.
8-point lead for Stanford. 3:44 to go, first half.
Credit Stanford right now, 9-0. You see, Pitt is in a zone defense. It's been very good this evening. Except the last 2 minutes, they're giving up these offensive boards that are not just O boards, but they're O boards to assists. Pitt has to clean that up, and I'm sure Tori Verdi is just addressing it right now as they come out of this timeout. 9-0. for Stanford on those second chance points.
Well, and Tori Verdi mentioned to us yesterday the importance of rebounding, especially in this game tonight. And Brianne, he said that he's proud of the way his team has defended. They force teams into tough shots, but then they stop there sometimes and they don't go attack the glass and get the rebound, and that showed itself a bit here tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Him talking also about freshman point guard Teresa Higgins. She said, I didn't have to rebound in high school. Well, guess what? This is a different ball game in ACC.
Yeah, certainly a different level, and takes time for some of the freshmen to understand how difficult it really is to win in this conference. There's a turnover there on the travel from Hollingsworth, and fourth turnover for the Panthers tonight. Only 2 turnovers in this first half for Stanford. Cardinal have been hot from the field. They have yet to take a free throw in this game. And Panthers stay in that zone. Like you said, if they can start to rebound, could see it be effective, but Clardy gets an open 3 and connects.
Yeah, that was a great skip pass by Ogden to teammate Chloe Clardy to knock it down for 3.
Stanford on the season, they average 7.5 3-pointers per game, which is 4th in the ACC. They already have 6 tonight, but Michaela Johnson counters once again for Pitt.
Yeah, and that play was set for Michaela Johnson. But you see on the other end, just every player on Pitt Panthers, they're ball watching. They're all of their heads. Your head needs to be on a swivel, and they just missed that opportunity. But then on the flip side, Michaela Johnson gets something going here for the Pitt Panthers offense with a great take with the and one.
And it looks like they might have gone back to man here, Brianne, on this possession.
That's interesting to see. Maybe that was an adjustment that Coach Tori Verdi wanted to see out of that timeout. Not liking the way they're defensive rebounding.
Clardy drives off the handoff and swirls out on the jumper. Johnson already with 12 points. Nice move to get to the basket, but couldn't get the finish.
That was a pretty difficult up and under in transition.
Swain drives, runner won't go. Rebound collected by Quealy. Cardinals 7 for 14 from the field this quarter as Higgins drives and gets the roll.
And that was tough, just a loop. She was running in a circle there. Nice handoff, turned the corner, took the extra dribble. Great finish by Teresa Higgins.
Shumfai left open. She's been hot today, but couldn't score that time. Panthers get the rebound. Just a 6-point game here, under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Stanford team 15-8 on the year. Tied for 11th currently in the ACC. They're hoping to be an NCAA tournament team. The Panthers are looking to make sure they get to the ACC tournament at the end of the year. Quealy with Shumfai on her. Good defense by the Stanford forward.
Stanford is so disciplined on the defensive end. They're so big and long and athletic on the interior, but they really stay on their feet, and they're making it difficult for Pitt to get good shots off.
Stevenson hands off. Clardy's 3 is good.
Chloe Clardy having herself a ball game. Her her fourth 3 of the night just in the first half.
Clardy is up to 14 points, a 33% 3-point shooter on the season, 4 for 6 tonight. And poked away by Swain. Nobody in front of her. Haley Swain gets the scoop and score for Stanford to put them up 11. (43-32), Kate Pay's team in front. In that next level speed and quickness, and the improvement of her defense as well. I see a freshman get the takeaway and finish on the other end. She's got 11 points in this game.
Yeah, she's been playing tough, and she impacts the game in a multitude of ways, as you see her there on the defensive end, just getting in the passing lane, and that's something that Pitt can't afford to do. Each and every single possession matters, and that one was just too lazy for the Panthers.
Swain, a tremendous athlete, also a standout volleyball player in high school from Marietta, Georgia. And now a Pitt response, that time from Cooley. Cuts it to 8. Tori Verdi yells out to his team, one stop, trying to keep that margin at 8 before the break. Clardy tightly guarded by Higgins here at the end of the quarter. Now it's Ogden, does not use the screen from Stevenson, hangs, and cannot hit the jumper. A good defensive stand by Pitt to end the second quarter, but it was a first half won by the Cardinal, 43-35 to score at the break.
Yeah, and talk about a response coming out of that timeout for Pitt. They get a great offensive look and finish with a bucket on the offensive end, and then get a great defensive stop to head into the locker room, just down by 8 points.
We've got a good one here at the Peterson Event Center. It's Stanford 43 and Pitt 35. Halftime coverage is coming up next. Half here. It's the Stanford Cardinal and the Pitt Panthers. Stanford with the 8-point lead at the break in a game that has had no shortage of offense. The leading scorer is Chloe Clardy with 14 points on the night to lead everybody. 5 of 8 from the floor, and Brienne, she's been playing some really good basketball as of late and carries it right into this road game tonight.
Yeah, she really has. She was inserted into that starting lineup 3 games ago, and she's been averaging a little over 15 points a game in those outings, and she's right on track to do so tonight as well. She's really doing a good job from beyond the arc. Those 4 threes all came in the second half. Pitt is going to need to find her to slow her down in the second half.
And Clardy with the big performance, but for the Panthers, Michaela Johnson with 12 points. Tori Verdi's team has really looked to her to be the source of their offense.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been their leader without a doubt this entire season, but especially in the ACC. You can just see her confidence level has been up since she has come into this ACC in this second half of the season. She's really been tremendous, and she's gonna need to give a little bit more in the second half if Pitt can get over that hump.
And you see Johnson with the 12 points at the bottom of the graphic there. And talk to Tori Verdi about her confidence and how she has been a leader for this team. This is her second year with the program, Brienne, but of course, in this era of college sports, second year means you're one of the most experienced players on the team, and that's the case for a lot of schools. And Michaela Johnson was named a captain about a month and a half ago. Tori Verdi said she was not named a captain right off the bat, but they noticed her growth, her maturity, really starting to understand Coach Verdi's system, the expectations, and has turned into a role model for this team.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can just see that growth by her, and that was really interesting to hear him say that she was just named the captain. But as you mentioned, yeah, she's definitely a veteran for this squad, and he has said that she has really taken some ownership with this team.
So Johnson with the 12 to lead the Panthers at the break. We get underway in the third quarter. Pitt Panthers coming off one of their best performances of the season last week at Virginia Tech. And they're trying to compete in this ACC game here as well. Stanford, meanwhile, high stakes for them. 4-game losing streak, and they are a projected 10 seed currently in the NCAA tournament. Cannot afford to drop this one and extend that slide. Here's Higgins, first Pitt possession out of the break, drives and kicks. Jahate, short corner jumper.
Jahate continued with that 15 to 17 foot range tonight. That's her first long jumper.
Jahate 4 of 5 from the floor. Now Shumfai, Clardy, good ball movement to Swain. Ogden thought about the 3, passed on it, finds Clardy. And Clardy short on the 3, but an offensive rebound. Shumfai, Ogden, and gets the 2.
Shumfai has a really high basketball IQ, especially for a post player. She can get the basketball, she can dribble it up the floor. She's timed so many offensive rebounds, and then she has her eyes up and she sees cutters making direct lines to the basket and hitting them for assists.
Johnson spinning and finishing against Ogden. Michaela Johnson up to 14.
What a nice night she's had, Michaela Johnson. Just so tough, the buckets that she has been producing tonight. Stanford really, I mean, she's a scouting report. She's circled all over the scouting report. and they're doing a nice job against her, but she's really making some tough looks.
There's the freshman Queeley. Now Johnson into Jahate. Turns a nice move on the post inside. Jahate makes it a 4-point game.
Yeah, over her right shoulder, just a nice little shimmy shake for the sky hook there. Nice finish for Fati inside.
Off-ball foul, it looks like here, will go against the Panthers.
And here you see it. What a nice spin move against the 6'5" player inside. And then Jahate. Give me that. Fati for 2.
Baseline inbound for Stanford. After the pair of baskets by Pitt, good defense there. Teresa Higgins Jr. knocks it out.
Yeah, and that was great defense by Pitt. Some of the baseline out of bounds plays, that's always like a shoot around. You run through their baseline out of bounds plays, but you hear it. You hear Tori Verdi calling out exactly what they're running, and Pitt did a nice job defending it.
Shumfai, as good as she's been for Stanford tonight, she is 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. Misses there. And Pitt with the momentum right now, especially if they can convert this trip. Johnson driving again, that time poked away by the freshman Shumfai. Loose ball, Queeley has it. And she will reset. And we're gonna pause here. I think the shot clock maybe did not reset when the Panthers regained possession there. And okay, so they're gonna say, okay, 27. For a second it was 2.7. I thought maybe they were saying that Shumfai never had possession of the basketball, but now the Panthers do get just about a full shot clock here. Higgins, step back, buries it.
Nice flick of the wrist, nice looking jump shot for Teresa Higgins.
And just like that, it's a 2-point game. Pittsburgh has not led in this one. Clardy's 3 is good. Chloe Clardy, her 5th 3 of the game.
Chloe Clardy has something to say about that, Jason. She does not want Pitt to take the lead at all tonight.
Higgins step back off the heel. Shumfai collects her 15th rebound. And Johnson called for the foul. Just her first.
See, here's a replay of that Chloe Clardy 3. She sees Teresa Higgins eyeing up that on-ball screen, and she looks away for 1 second, and she takes advantage. Chloe Clardy.
33% three-point shooter on the year, 5 for 8. Here tonight, 17 points.
Increasing that percentage here tonight,
yes,
Jason.
She is. Pass inside, Stevenson, well defended by Jahate.
That was tough defense by Fati Jahate. Talking a little stuff towards the end of that.
Hollingsworth can't connect on the 3. Remember, Pitt had it at a 2-point margin before the 3 from Clardy. Swain. Rebound again, Shumfai, that time trying to save it and send it right back to the Panthers. Teresa Higgins will set things up. Goes left, finds a lane off the window and in.
And that's such a great play. It's not necessarily set for Teresa Higgins, the point guard, but she is so quick off of that horn screen, that horns action at the top. If she turns that corner just like she did, there was no help defense in the paint. As you see her here on the replay, 2 high screens there. There's no help. Your shooters are in your corner. She is so quick when she gets to the bucket. Nice looking play for Teresa Higgins.
See on offense for Pitt, Michaela Johnson Teresa Higgins Jr. and Fatima Jahate all having a big night for Pitt. And Brienne, when they have all of them clicking, you can start to see the effects it has on this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. We might be naming them the big three because for Pitt to be successful, they need those three to step up. And Michaela Johnson really has been proven that in ACC, but she needs others to join her. And tonight, Fati Jahate and Teresa Higgins are doing so.
And we've seen big scoring nights from those players, but also very efficient tonight. Higgins is 50% from the floor, 5 for 10. Jahate 5 for 6. So Pittsburgh with a lot of momentum. It's been sparked by those three players. And now a foul all the way in the backcourt against Alex Eschmeyer. Pittsburgh will have possession when we come back from this media timeout. Well, some of the images pregame here at the Peterson Event Center as we celebrate Black History Month. Wonderful rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing, sung by Dwayne Allen. Outstanding job. Also sings the Star Spangled Banner at many games here for Pitt women's basketball, and well, we're glad to see Black History Month being celebrated here tonight and across the ACC and in college basketball. And welcome you back inside the Peterson Event Center. Jason Earl and Brianne O'Rourke Kelly. This has turned into a really good basketball game, Bree. Stanford led by 11 late in the second quarter, but the second half, Pitt has had the momentum.
Yeah, that's for sure. Pitt has really been playing well coming out of this second half. Now, can they keep that momentum going the second half of this third quarter? We shall see.
Pittsburgh with possession after the media timeout. It was a foul on Alex Eschmeyer all the way in the backcourt right before the break. And now Villegas trying to throw it off Clardy. Good defense by Stanford. Now Clardy the other way, lays it up and in.
What you want from Stanford coming out of the timeout, and not what you want if you're Pitt. A turnover right away to come out of that break.
Yeah, big swing there. Panthers had an opportunity to either cut the lead to 1 or even tie the game. Instead, Stanford gets the takeaway and the 2 to get that lead back to 5. Chloe Clardy with 19 points. Higgins to Villegas. Can't get the 3. And rebound tracked down by Ogden.
And you can't set a better play and get your 3-point shooter open better than that back screen.
Shumfai tracks down the basketball again, but has it taken away by Hollingsworth. 3-on-3 in transition here. Higgins will pull it back out. Johnson pull up from the free throw line, won't go. Shumfai gets the rebound. And now Shea Ijiwoye brings it back out for Stanford. Ogden should know she hasn't done too much scoring tonight, but she does have 6 assists. She nearly had another one there as Shumfai was fouled on her way to the bucket.
Again, that high IQ with Shumfai. She sizes up her defender. With her big frame, she can get to the bucket. Good looking take for her.
Stanford, a very efficient free throw shooting team, and maybe one of the reasons they have not been able to pull away, they have not been able to utilize it tonight. This is their first free throw of the basketball game. And Laura Shumfai officially gets the double-double. 11 points, 18 rebounds now for Shumfai, the ACC preseason all-freshman team member and 3-time ACC Rookie of the Week. 6th double-double on the year for Shumfai, and Kate Pay said she's a double-double machine. The biggest growth that her head coach has noticed has been in her comfort level, playing in this system, playing in the ACC. Kate Pay saying she has really grown up in that department and is much more comfortable on the floor here in early February.
Yeah, and that's a really great compliment, especially for a freshman. That's something that you say about a player who's maybe in their sophomore year, but to say about a freshman, that's really telling you a lot. And especially with what Kate Bay has been a part of at Stanford, all those Final Four trips, winning 2 national championships, one as a player, one as a coach. She really knows what it takes to be successful in college basketball.
Kate Bay with an outstanding resume and was an obvious fit for the job. She loves Stanford, was born at Stanford Hospital. She told us her brother was the starting point guard and quarterback at the same time for Stanford. You mentioned all the years she spent learning under Tara Vanderveer, won the national title in 1992. Actually spent time as a corporate attorney not long after finishing school. But she always knew she wanted to get back into coaching, and now she is the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, and they have a 9-point lead after another 3 from Chloe Clardy.
Her 6th, Jason, 6th of the night. Somebody on Pitt needs to find her.
Pass into Johnson. Clardy is everywhere. Shumfai up to Ogden, back to Clardy. Stanford slows things down. Ogden on the shot fake and tripped up. Draws the foul. So Pittsburgh early in the third quarter had all the momentum, but Chloe Clardy has been hot from downtown.
Yeah, and that's a great flare screen by Shumfai. You see the bench celebrating it, and why not? Her 6th 3 of the night.
At this Stanford team, so many different weapons, despite the fact that they are without their leading scorer, Nunu Aguirre, and the leading passer, Talana Lapolo, leads the team in assists on the year. And momentum starting to shift in favor of the Cardinal. Pittsburgh with no field goals in the last 3:23.
Just Stanford playing really smart on both ends of the floor right now, really taking care of the basketball, valuing their possessions. And to them, it doesn't matter who gets the shot. They want the best shot. They've passed up good looks to get even greater looks.
Shumfai finds Ogden. 8 to shoot. Working on bigs and gets the roll. Courtney Ogden.
And Jason, to go along with what I was just saying, I don't think I've ever watched a more patient team on offense. They're like a well-oiled machine. They are so disciplined. That shot clock ran down to 5 seconds before they got the look that they wanted.
Very patient, very smart offensively. They do go in transition, but they pick their moments and they're selective as to when to work on the fast break. Now they notice they do have numbers, so Shumfai goes in and kicks cross court to Swain. They will drop it back out. Ogden got the jumper. And the Cardinal have taken over the third quarter. Panthers were within 2, but Stanford now with its largest lead of the night, an 11-1 run over the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, and again, right here, these 2 possessions, this was that 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Courtney Ogden, not the best first half for her, but here she passed up an earlier look. She could have shot that 3-pointer, but no, she's going to wait for her on-ball screen by Shumfai and take a nice 17-foot jump shot and knock it down.
It's patience and poise on the offensive end for Stanford. I mean, you can even see Ogden with the physical cues to her teammate, Shumfai, and the others saying, hey, you go here, I'm going to go this way. And she gets the 2. Ogden with 11 points on 5 of 12 shooting and 6 assists as well. More assists than anyone in tonight's game to go along with those 11 points. Just like that, largest lead of the game for Stanford. And certainly still a lot of basketball left to go. Tori Verdi always preaching for his team to fight no matter the margin. Hagen's baseline. Now it's Johnson. Hagen's for three, yes.
And that was a big three for Teresa Hagens to cut that lead down to 10. Now a big stop would be good for the Panthers right here, but you know Stanford is going to utilize this shot clock. Just 10 on the game clock in the third quarter here.
Ogden working on Rust. Low pass, Clardy with 1 to go in the quarter, and she's been very good from three tonight, but too tough of a shot that time. Cardinal with the 59-49 lead after 3 quarters in Pittsburgh. Clardy has been the difference maker tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been the difference maker. She's really getting it done on the defensive end, too. She's playing so smart. She's taking good looks on the offensive end. 22 points tonight, her season high. 6 made threes. Also, her career, ties her career, made three-pointers. She's having herself a phenomenal night.
Yeah, and she's been such a steady presence throughout her career at Stanford. All Pac-12 freshman honorable mention in her first year back in 23-24. And really improved last season, became a starter for 18 games, 10.2 points a game last year. And improving once again this year, has really started to come alive, and it shows tonight, propelling Stanford to the 10-point lead. Ogden works her way into the paint and gets the 2. Ogden is up to 13.
Ogden, another one, having a big performance for the Stanford Cardinal in the second half, especially.
Johnson, step back against Shumfai. It's pure.
And they're going to need to keep going to Johnson. They need to go to her every possession right now if they want to get back in this basketball game.
Kayla Johnson, 16 points, 6 for 14 from the floor. The margin is 10, but Shumfai in the Cardinal continue to punch back and keep that lead at double digits. Poked away again, Rust comes up with it. Johnson's jumper won't go. Knocked around and last touched by Shumfai in Stanford. It will stay Pitt ball.
You see her poise right there. She attacks the big, nice little step back. But then Shumfai with the answer on the other end.
Johnson off the baseline inbound, where the Panthers couldn't get the jumper to fall. Remember, Panthers tried that zone defense earlier in the first half. They've been mainly in man since.
Yeah, you wonder if they'll pull that back out, Jason. Because it was working in the first half besides those second chance points. But not with shots like that from Ogden.
Brianne, what's been really impressive, at least to me tonight for Stanford, it seems like they've had a different star in each different portion of the game. It started out, Shumfai was very hot. Then Haley Swain had her moment. Chloe Clardy has been good. And now Courtney Ogden is coming alive for them as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with this Stanford team, and that's why I believe they will be an NCAA tournament team. They are so good. It doesn't matter who is scoring the basketball for them.
This time Jahate pokes it away. Panthers had the jumper from Russ the last trip down, and now a foul called against Ijiwoye. Timeout taken by Stanford. Cardinal with the 13-point lead. Some very impressive offensive displays. As you can see the numbers, the scoring leaders. Chloe Clardy with 22, Ogden with the 16. She's been hot as of late. Shumfai, yes, she has the 13, but also 18 rebounds as well. And the Cardinal do not have any bench points. So we've talked about all the different weapons they have. And Brianne, imagine if this team can get back to full strength. If you have Talana Lapolo in there, Nunu Aguera, their leading scorer. You know, you talked about them as an NCAA tournament team. If they get those weapons back, they can really be dangerous.
Yeah, that is 7 tough players right there. And 7 players who can get it done in a multitude of ways on the offensive end, as you just saw it there with the scoring discrepancy. It's been unbelievable game to watch tonight for Stanford, just a balanced scoring attack, but just by their starting 5.
You see the tournament resume for Stanford. As of now, Charlie Cream has them as a 10 seed. 23 is the strength of schedule number for the Cardinal. And you'll find very few teams in college basketball that can go on a 4-game losing streak and still have that net in the top 40 at number 36. And it shows you just how tough the schedule was and how well they performed early in the season against those difficult opponents.
Yeah, and history just speaks for itself for Stanford. I know you have to prove yourself each and every year, but Kate Pay is going to get this team back to the promised land, and she loves being the leader of this program, as she told us on the call this week, and she's really going to do big things as the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal.
Is name recognition a part of the net, right, in the NCAA evaluation tool? Because it seems like a program like Stanford, they get a little boost perhaps from having the reputation they do of being a team that goes to the tournament and wins games.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to see teams like that consistently in the tournament. It goes to show for some fun basketball, and we all want to see that, right?
Well, we've talked to you about Tara Vanderveer, her, of course, being a mentor to Kate Pay. How about the only other meeting, Brianne, between these two teams that happened in Pittsburgh? It was in 1986, and it was Tara Vanderveer's 16th win as the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal. Her 16th, I will say, out of 1,216 total in her long career.
Oh, wow. Talk about that. Over 1,000 wins. One of the best to ever do it in NCAA women's college basketball.
Won the national title in 2021. Stanford went right back to the Final Four the next year in 2022. Sweet 16 trip in 2024. And Kate Pay with a lot of talent on this year's roster, and she believes has a team that could make another deep run for Stanford in the big dance. And now a turnover forced by the Cardinal. Up to Ijiwoye.
Yeah, Ijiwoye, great hands on the defensive end to get in there. Pitt's bigs couldn't even react quick enough. That's how quick she was on the defense, and then she gets rewarded in transition.
A whistle here, and it looks like our officials are going to discuss whether it was an offensive or a defensive foul. And they're actually going to go take a look at it, as you see one more look at Ijiwoye. So the lead for Stanford is 15, largest lead of the night.
The previous foul is under review for upgrade.
So taking one more look, it looked like Higgins Jr. might have gotten the arm out, or off arm, when she was dribbling the basketball. Our crew tonight, Mark Berger, Ryan Durham, Kayla Maxey. Yeah, I think they're looking at that right arm of Higgins Jr. being defended by Shea Ijiwoye.
Yeah, it definitely looks like she grabs it there. I think a little acting job maybe by Shea Ijiwoye.
And you know, this was not an appeal from either coach. Referees stopped to have a look at this themselves and see if there's anything more than a common foul here. And it appears it was initially ruled as a common foul on Ijiwoye, and perhaps checking to see if that should go against Higgins instead, and if it would be anything more than a common foul.
I think they were both trying to make sure the official knew the foul was not on them.
Yes. A lot of pointing fingers there.
Yeah. Yeah, you clearly see Ijiwoye kind of going at her, but Higgins does get her hand on her arm, so.
They are having a long look at this one. When we do get back to the game, it will be important for Tori Verdi's team to make their push now. Down 15, 7:18 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And we'll get an update here.
After review, we have a common foul on red 6, followed by a flagrant 1 foul on white 1. Anybody from Stanford will shoot 2 free throws and retain the basketball.
Appreciate the explanation there. A lot going on that play. So you heard the official foul on Ijiwoye, but then followed by the flagrant 1 on Higgins. And it makes sense after the explanation. Kind of see Ijiwoye get that arm in the way of Higgins at first for the personal foul, but then you can see why a flagrant 1 was called on Higgins after that.
A little extra contact.
So Clardy gets the 2 shots, misses the first, and misses the second. And because of the flagrant 1 ruling against Higgins, it will be Stanford ball as well. Here's Ogden, found some space to hit the J.
Ogden again with that nice looking 15-foot jumper. 18 points for her now.
And the lead is up to 17 for the Cardinal. Higgins, nice shot fake, drives, finds Jahate, and she's fouled.
And I like the look by Higgins on that. The dribble weave action. We talked about this earlier. When Teresa Higgins can turn that corner and get downhill as quick as she can, as quick as she is, she should have just finished, take it to the basket. Instead, she passes to Fatima Jahate, which was a good-looking pass, but I think she had the better opportunity for a layup for herself.
The potential is very exciting for Teresa Higgins Jr., just a freshman, top 100 recruit in the 2025 class, according to ESPN. And Tori Verdi has talked about her improvement throughout the year. So we spoke earlier about the difficulty in the ACC. It is an adjustment, but plays like that get Tori Verdi excited about what she can be.
Yeah, and that's a better read for her there. She sees the switch. It was an on-ball screen. The post switches off, so she has a mismatch, and she takes advantage of it.
Shumfai rattles it home on the other end. A strong take from the freshman.
And she is pretty quick. She squares up. Jahate is right there guarding her, and just one little quick step to the basket.
And helps so much Brianna. She collects her 19th rebound of this game. In early February, games starting to matter a lot. To have a night like this for Shumfai, 15 points, 19 boards. Has to be so big for her confidence down the stretch of the season.
Courtney Ogden just continues, but yes, you're right. Laura Shumfai, I mean, Coach Kate Pay said that she's a double-double machine. She is a rebounding machine. She is unbelievable. She just attacks the basketball.
Just got done talking about the impressive freshman performance from Higgins for Pitt. Shumfai, the first-year player for the Cardinal, very impressive in her own right. But Jahate gets the and one.
It was a great take for Fati on the opposite side. Chamfailly does not like the foul call, but that was a great take by Fati.
Third foul on Chamfailly. Jahate with 12 points. She's been a welcome addition to this Pitt Panther team. Coming in from Georgia. 3 seasons there. 5.3 points a game last year, but Jahate getting that average up to 9.4 points this season in the blue and gold. And what a force she's been. 8 double-doubles on the year, ranks 4th in the conference. Also 5th in the ACC in blocks per game and rebounds per game.
We talk about Chamfailly being that double-double machine, but Fati Jahate is right up there. 8 double-doubles, as you mentioned, on the season. The blocks.
Ogden, nice jab step before drilling a triple.
And we said it, different people stepping up at different times in this game. This second half belongs to Courtney Ogden.
Ogden with 12 points in the 4th quarter alone, and Stanford has 11 threes in the game. Villegas connects on a 3 of her own.
And they needed that, but now they can't go basket for basket here. They need to get stops on the defensive end as the Pitt Panthers.
That's exactly right. Pittsburgh facing a deficit. Can't afford to be trading buckets at this point in the game as Ogden tried a 3 that was in and out. But guess who? Chamfailly is there for another rebound. She's up to 20.
Incredible. 20 rebounds. Unbelievable.
And Clardy takes advantage of the second chance opportunity.
Just so many weapons the Cards have on that offensive end. Clardy coming back, 24th point of the night.
What a performance from Chloe Clardy and the rest of this Stanford team tonight. They are up 18, and they've got 3 players that have scored at least 15 points. But it's important to also look a little to the right in the box score as well, Brianne, because Chamfailly has the 20 rebounds. Stanford as a team has 31 boards. Chamfailly has 20 of them.
So more than half, you're saying? That's incredible.
2/3.
I mean, I mentioned earlier, her basketball IQ. She is everywhere. She times the basketball, she times it, she jumps, she just attacks the boards. And then, on top of it, she knows how to find her teammates. She's like a point guard in a post player body. She has been tremendous.
She was born in Hungary, moved to Australia when she was 2 years old. Went on to become a 5-star recruit, number 12 player in the 2025 class, McDonald's All-American. Has some international experience with Australia as well, and decided to take her talents to join Kate Pay's team at Stanford. And this will be a game that she will remember from her freshman year. Although, Brianne, by her senior year, she might forget it, because I have a feeling she's going to have a lot bigger games even than this.
I was going to say, again, she is just a freshman. Can't wait to watch her develop and grow throughout her college career.
And she's doing it for a Cardinal team that is on the verge of ending that 4-game losing streak. And they have had some really tough opponents in ACC play. Should note that all of those 4 losses in Quad 1 and Quad 2. At Syracuse, home to Louisville, a couple Quad 2 losses at Cal, and home to Notre Dame. And of course, that is considering the injuries they've dealt with as well to Lapolo and Aguera. Swain, crafty take, and finishes with the left hand.
Nice DHO, dribble handoff for the point guard to turn the corner. Great looking out of bounds set by Kate Pay's team. love hearing the communication from the benches, the players, the coaches, just really working as a team. It's just not the players out there. Everybody reads and knows the scouting report coming into these games. It's a lot of preparation beforehand that you really don't see, but you can tell which team has put in the work.
Stanford with the 21-point lead here late. And Brianne, especially impressive what we've seen from the freshmen, of course, in the era of the transfer portal. A lot of schools aiming to go that route rather than bring in the top-rated freshmen, go with transfers. But Kate Bay taking that different approach. Stanford has the fewest transfers of any team among the 68 Power 4 programs. The only transfer on the roster is Mary Ashley Stevenson, who came in from Purdue. So they are doing this with freshmen and players that have been at Stanford before, and while putting together a very nice season. They're going to get their 16th win if they hold on here tonight.
And what a team they will be in the future if they can continue to do that, have not many transfers transferring out also, Jason.
Cardinal next will be going to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech. And Kate Bay mentioning her team, very excited for that one, as they have some players from the Atlanta area on the roster. Courtney Ogden. Haley Swain is from Marietta, Georgia. So homecoming for a couple of the Cardinal players as they continue their ACC schedule, and really some opportunities to improve that resume here down the stretch and get back to the NCAA tournament. Of course, last year they missed the tournament, was rare for Stanford, but a big opportunity here to get some wins late in their ACC schedule and bolster that resume.
Yeah, big upcoming schedule for them, absolutely. A game at Georgia Tech, another one on the road, but then two home. Two tough opponents in Virginia Tech and Virginia, but a couple big games coming up for them that they can flip-flop this record of an ACC and get above 500 in ACC play.
And you have to think, with those absences to Aguirre and Lopolo, it's only strengthening everybody else on the roster, getting them more opportunities, more minutes, especially for the freshmen, getting them used to playing in the ACC. Only going to make them better here in the late games in the season.
And you see Pitt extending this pressure. You wonder where it was maybe a couple minutes ago, but can they do something? Get some steals out of it. What a block by Michaela Johnson.
You see the smile. And this is what Tori Verdi wants. She has talked to us about what he wants from his team, even when they get down.
Shamfai has the height advantage against Michaela Johnson, but it doesn't matter. What an athletic block from Johnson to get up there and time it just right.
Tori Verdi telling us straight up, he wants any Pitt fans that watch the game, whether it's here at the Pitt or at home, he wants them to leave, and even if they say, yeah, they don't have the most talent, he wants fans to leave and say that team plays hard. So he likes to see the fight from Michaela Johnson here late in the game. Stanford with the 18-point advantage, and they are going to improve to 16-8 on the year, 5-6 in the ACC, as the Cardinal are going to end their 4-game losing skid. And Haley Swain hits one for good measure. One last trip down for the Panthers.
So Haley Swain there, fourth player above 15 points for the Stanford Cardinal. That is hard to defend, hard to beat, Jason.
So the Panthers had it within 2 in the third quarter, but Stanford coming alive late, Thanks to Laura Shumfai, 23 rebounds tonight, the most by a freshman for the Cardinal since 2014. Brianne, Laura Shumfai is special, and there were many Stanford players that stepped up tonight, but this is a freshman that you have to keep an eye on moving forward.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She's going to be up for ACC Freshman of the Year, and we're going to see a lot more of her towards the end of the ACC play. She is a tremendous player and just adds so much value to this Stanford program. What a tremendous game by the Cards.
So Stanford improves to 16-8 with the win over Pitt tonight. For Brianna Orr-Kelly, our producer, Sarah Johnson, director, Jake Kleins, and the rest of our outstanding ACC Network crew, Jason Earl here saying so long from the Peterson Event Center, where the Stanford Cardinal defeat Pitt 86-65. Thanks for joining us on ACC Network.